Good morning, boys and girls. I hope that you've had a great spring break and that you're having a good morning so far. If you celebrate Easter, I hope that you had a great Easter with your family. I've missed seeing you this past week, so I'm very excited that I get to keep doing these videos and that we get our Zoom calls this week. So, super excited about that. Now, today's video is on, this is week number 2 of packet 2. So, in the packet, it's packet number 2, day 6. And right before day 6, it says that this week will cover the week of today, April 13th, through April 17th. So this is the last week of packet number 2. So what your packet is asking you to do today. First, for reading, it says choose a poem to read. Now in your packet, you have a page that looks like this, and it has lots of different poems. One is called The Sun's Busy Day, Weather, Around the Earth, Heavy or Light, Pocahontas, American Flag, Important Rules, and I Will Vote. Those are all of the poem options that you have on this page in your packet. So it says choose a poem to read. So one of these, pick one, and it says read the poem to yourself 2 times, then read it to a family member or a stuffed animal. So I'm going to pick one. You can pick a different one than me. I'm going to pick Important Rules. Here are some rules for you and me. See how important they can be. Always be honest, be kind and fair. Always be good and willing to share. There are the rules we all should know. We follow the rules wherever we go. So I would read that 2 times to myself. Then you're going to read it to a family member or a stuffed animal, whichever one you pick. You don't have to pick Important Rules. Um, then what it says is you need to draw and label a picture to match the poem you chose. So on a piece of paper, you're going to draw a picture that goes with what your poem was talking about, and you need to label it. When I say label a picture, if I was drawing a picture of a girl at school, I'm just going to draw a stick figure for now. And she's following the rules. This is a picture of her staying in line. These are her classmates in line in front of her, and she's staying in line. She's following that important rule. I would put I labeled it by saying girl standing in a 3S line, single, straight, and silent, as you all know. So that's what labeling is. Labeling is when you describe the part of the picture or describe what is happening in the picture. So you're going to read your poem 2 times to yourself, then once to a family member or stuffed animal. You're going to draw and label a picture to match the poem that you chose. So if your poem's about school rules, you shouldn't be drawing butterflies. It should go with what the poem is about. Then it says to complete the short and long A vowel sheet. So you have a page that looks like this, and in the corner it says short and long A. So the page says short vowel pattern. And that's when we call that, I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so we can see. A short vowel pattern we call CVC. And that stands for consonant, vowel, consonant. So that would be like the word cat. It's a consonant, vowel, consonant. It makes the vowel short. That would also be like the word chat, because we have a consonant, vowel, consonant. And again, it makes that vowel short and say ah. It would also be like the word flat. Consonant, vowel, consonant. It makes the A short and say ah. Now, the CVCE pattern is when we have a consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E. So those would be words like cake. We have a consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E. In the word cake, you do not hear that E. It's silent. So what that pattern does is that silent E at the end makes this vowel say its name, A. That's not the word cack, it's cake. That silent E, that CVCE pattern, makes the A say A. So that's a long vowel pattern. This is our short vowel pattern, long vowel pattern. So that would also be like for words like shake, because we've got that consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E. That silent E makes this vowel say its name. It's not shack, it's shake. The word shack is spelled completely different. Would also be the case for the word flake. We've got that consonant, vowel, consonant, silent E pattern. And again, that silent E on the end makes this vowel say its name, A. It makes it a long A instead of a short A. Now, the directions on this page say, highlight the letters in the words below. Look for patterns to decide whether the words make a short or long vowel sound. Put the words in a written sort in your word study notebook. Make caterpillar headers like the ones above. So what it's asking you to do, obviously your word study notebooks are at school, so you can use any notebook at home or any piece of paper. And what you're going to do, it's asking you to make a header like there are on your page. And the headers on your page are just a CVC column and a CVCE column. So, and you can do this if you want. Your job is, there are some directions here. On this page, it says the silent E's should be pink. So if you see a silent E on this page, which would be the E's at the end of the word, you need to color those silent E's pink. Any consonants on the page. So consonants are any letters that are not vowels. So all of the consonants on this page, you need to color those yellow. And the vowels, you need to color green. After you have colored all of the consonants yellow, the vowels green, and the silent E's pink, you need to look at the word, read it, and figure out if it's a short vowel word or a long vowel word. So, if I was looking at the word tan, that's your first one. First thing, do I have a silent E in that word to color pink? Tan, T-A-N. No, there's no E in that word, so I don't need to color anything pink. The consonants are yellow, so in tan, what are the letters that I need to color yellow? Any letter that is not a vowel is a consonant. So for tan, that would be the T and N. You need to color yellow. And then the vowels are green, so what color would that A in tan be? It would be green. After you've colored all the letters, you need to read the word tan. Then on your blank piece of paper or in your notebook at home, after you've colored it on the page, you're going to read it and figure out whether you need to write it under the short vowel column or the long vowel column. In the word tan, do we think that would be a short vowel word or long vowel? We said it doesn't have a silent E. So is the silent E making the A say its name? No, there's no silent E there. So you would write tan under the consonant, vowel, consonant, because it's a consonant, vowel, consonant. And that A is short. It says a, tan. It doesn't say A. It's a short A. So then you would do the same for all of the words on the page. Color them on this page, and then write them in the column that they belong. Then for writing, it says to choose a picture. You may choose one of your own or use one from the packet. So any picture you have at home you can use, or in your packet, there's pictures that says pictures for writing assignments. And it has 6 different pictures that you can choose from. So you can pick a picture you have around at home or one of these from the packet, and you're going to tell a story based on the picture to a family member. So you're going to look at the picture that you choose, and you're going to make a story in your mind that involves the picture that you chose. You need to tell that story to a family member. Then you need to write the story down and read the story to a family member. So your story should have a beginning, middle, and end, and it should have something to do with the picture that you pick. So first you're going to come up with it, and you're going to just tell it to a family member. Then you're going to write down the story, and you're going to then read it back to a family member. So like I said, you can pick any picture that you have around at home, or if it helps you to have something to look at in the packet, they've got 6 pictures for you to choose from, and you can create a story that has to do with the picture that you chose. Then if we scroll down, for handwriting today, it says choose 3 uppercase letters to practice correct letter formation. Practice writing the letter 10 to 15 times. Use the direction card to help with proper formation. So you have a page in your packet that looks like this, letter formation reference card. So this is just a paper where if you can't quite remember how to make a letter, or you're confused if the D goes this way or this way, you can look back at this card because it has all of our lowercase and our uppercase letters on it. So today it's asking you to choose 3 uppercase letters, and you need to write each one anywhere between 10 and 15 times. So if you pick, you don't have to pick the same ones that I'm doing. If I picked R, Q, and T, I would have to write R between 10 and 15 times, Q between 10 and 15 times, and T between 10 and 15 times. And I don't want you to do this. Done. Nope. It specifically says practice correct letter formation. So you need to take your time. Take your time with it. They shouldn't be miles apart, and they shouldn't be right on top of each other. You should have a nice good space in between there. So each letter between 10 and 15 times, and they're uppercase. So take your time to make sure you don't switch to lowercase. They should all be uppercase today because that's what the packet's asking you to focus on. So now we're at our math section for today. As always, it says write the name of the game you chose. Pick a math game from packet 1 or packet 2 to play with someone, and write down the name of the game that you picked. Those are toward the end of the packets. There's several different games that you can choose. So we've got another word problem, but first we're going to do a practice one together. Then I will read and explain the one that you need to do by yourself. So the one that we're going to do together is very similar, or it's very like the one that is in your packet, just a little bit different. Okay. Our practice problem says, Mrs. Turner read 10 books over 2 weeks. She read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did she read each week? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out those 2 weeks, because the numbers that my problem is giving me are 10 and 2. It's 10 books over 2 weeks. So I'm going to write Sun for Sunday, M for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm going to do it again down here because it's 2 weeks. It's not just one. Okay, so that's my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then again, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it says Mrs. Turner read 10 books over 2 weeks. She read the same number of books both weeks. So each week has to have the same number of books. So if I tried to do this, if I just went, okay, my total is 10 books. If I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 books. And in 2 weeks. Is this a correct answer? No, because of this part of the question. She read the same number of books both weeks. So in the first week, with the way I did it now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the second week, I have 3. So is 7 the same as 3? No. I need to have the same number of books read in week 1 as I do in week 2 to give me 10. So one way that I would like you to think of this, we need to get to 10, and we're splitting it equally between 2 weeks. What number would we add together 2 times to give us 10? Think about number talks. Whenever we have a 5 plus 5 or a 6 plus 6 or a 4 plus 4, what are you all yelling? You all start going, doubles, doubles, because those are doubles. It's one number added to itself to get something. So if if she's reading 10 books in 2 weeks and we have to have the same number, let me try. Maybe if I did, you might take another guess. You might say, last time I did 7 and 3. Maybe if I take 1 or 2 away from the top. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting closer, but this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. Is 6 the same as 4? No. But think about those doubles. What doubles problem would give me 10? What doubles problem would give me 10? We're probably starting to think of it now. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at how that matches up. 5 books read the first week, 5 books read the second week. What is 5 plus 5? What does that double give me? It gives me 10. Good. So let's double check, see if we answered the question. Mrs. Turner read 10 books over 2 weeks. She read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did she read each week? So we've got 2 weeks. We know the total is 10. She did not read more than 10 books. So I'm not going to have 12. I'm not going to have 15. She read 10. And we know that she read the same number of books both weeks. So it should be equal. We know 5 plus 5 gives me 10. That's the same first week as the second week. So the final question is, how many books did she read each week? She read how many each week? It doesn't say how many did she read in all. Each week, how many did she read? So in week 1, how many did she read? And in week 2, how many did she read? The answer is the same for both. She read 5. So how many books did she read each week? She read 5 books each week. That would be my answer. As you can see, we used pictures, numbers, and words to solve. Now, let me describe to you or explain what your problem is. It's very similar to that one. So you can use some of the same techniques or tools that we use with this one. Okay. Your problem says Michael read 14 books over 2 weeks. He read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did he read each week? So your problem says, Michael read 14 books over 2 weeks. He read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did he read each week? So the parts that you need to focus on, what numbers does this problem give us? How many books did he read in all? Michael read 14 books over 2 weeks. He read, just like the last one, he read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did he read each week? So I want you to use pictures, numbers, and words to solve this problem, just like we did with the last one. It's not exactly the same, but it is very, very similar. So I'll read it one last time, then you need to try and solve it yourself. Michael read 14 books over 2 weeks. He read the same number of books both weeks. How many books did he read each week? So use pictures, numbers, and words to solve that. Then the next problem, or the next part of math says, give the name of the games you played on Dreambox. So if you logged on to Dreambox today, write down some of the names of the games that you played there. For science, under content today, it says, take a look at all of the objects around you. Hang on. I'm going to erase this just so we don't have any distractions in the background. Okay. So it says, take a look at all of the objects all around you. Everything around you is made of matter. The objects can be described and compared by the different materials or properties. So matter is what everything is made of. And we're going to learn about the different materials or properties that everything is made of, because everything is made of different properties that make that thing what it is. So we're going to read a story that kind of breaks down what matter is. So you need to read, the book is called How Big, How Heavy, How Dense, A Look at Matter. And it is a lot of ink, so I don't blame you if you didn't print it, because Mrs. Savage did not print it. So I will tell you what page it is on in your packet. It's on page 49 of the packet, and I'm going to read it to you. I'm looking at my other screen so I can read it to you. So it's called How Big, How Heavy, How Dense, A Look at Matter. And if we look at our table of contents, which is one of our nonfiction text features, that tells me that this book is giving us information. It's going to be teaching us something. It's a nonfiction book. That's what it does. It gives us facts. And the table of contents breaks down each chapter or heading and tells me what page it is on. So if I want to see what is matter, that's page 4. Properties of matter, page 5. Forms of matter, page 17, and so on. So now we're just going to keep reading. What is matter? Matter is everywhere in the universe. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Mass is the amount of material in an object. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. So let's think about that again. Mass is the amount of material in an object. So if I said what was the pencil's mass, that is how much material is in that pencil. If I said what is the volume of the pencil, the volume is how much space that pencil takes up. So that's what mass and volume mean. And then the caption of this page, so it's a picture of a bird, and the caption says, this bird has mass and volume. So does its nest, because it's made of something, and mass tells us how much, and it takes up space, and volume tells us how much space it takes up. Matter can be living. Plants are matter. People are matter. Animals and bugs are matter. Matter can be non-living. Air is matter. Your favorite jacket is matter. Things you cannot see, like air, can be matter, but the sound of blowing wind isn't matter. That's because it doesn't take up space. So the sound of something is not matter, but air is. It has to take up space. Properties of matter. All matter has properties. Properties describe how matter looks, feels, or acts. Color, texture, shape, size, and weight are all properties. What are some properties of this starfish? So there's a picture of a starfish on this page. What are some of the starfish's properties? Talk about that to a family member, or just try and list some of those out. So what are its color, texture, that means how does it feel, shape, size, and weight of the starfish? What do you think? Matter is sorted by its properties. Matter can be sorted by color. The red apples and green apples are in different bins because they've been sorted by their property of color. Matter can be sorted by texture. So on this page, we've got marshmallows and we've got sandpaper. No, it's cotton and sandpaper. Looks like marshmallows to me for a second. So they are in different piles because the cotton feels soft and the sandpaper feels rough. Those two things have been sorted by their texture, how they feel. That's their property that they were sorted by. Matter can be sorted by shape or size. Clothes come in different sizes, so they could be sorted by the sizes like they are at the store. They're sorted by their property. Matter can be sorted by weight. The rocks are heavier than the feathers. So in that picture, there's a balanced scale. We see the rocks are weighed down because they are heavier than the feathers. So those are sorted by how much they weigh. They're sorted by the property of their weight. Matter can be sorted by density. Density is how heavy something is for its size. A baseball is heavy for its size. It is dense. A ball of yarn is light for its size. It is not very dense. So if you have a baseball and a ball of yarn, those could be about the same size, but are they made up of the same thing? No, because the baseball is heavy. That means it's dense. It is how heavy something is for its size. That's what density is. So the baseball is dense. It's made up of something that is heavier than the ball of yarn, which is the same size, but it is light for its size. So it's not very dense. Matter also can be sorted by what it's made of. The bottle on the right is made of glass. The bottle on the left is made of plastic. So in that picture, there's a glass bottle and a plastic bottle. They can be sorted in different piles because they're made of different things. That's the property that they've been sorted by, what they're made of. Matter with certain properties works best for certain tasks. Would flimsy or solid matter make a better floor for a treehouse? So if you're building a treehouse, would you want something is made of solid matter or flimsy or weak matter? Which one would work better for the floor of a treehouse? I think we all would agree solid matter would work best for the floor of a treehouse. You want something that's solid. You wouldn't want something that is very light being the floor of your treehouse, or weak, not very strong. That wouldn't work for the floor of a treehouse. Would hard or soft matter make better stuffing for a pillow? So, would you want matter that is hard or soft in your pillow at night? Which one would be the best? I would say, and I think we all would say, soft matter would be best for a pillow. We don't want to be resting our head on something that's super hard, made of hard matter in our pillow. We just wouldn't want that. That wouldn't be very comfortable. Forms of matter. Matter comes in 3 forms. And look at that picture there. What do you think the 3 forms are? Matter can come in a solid, like the ice, So something that's solid, liquid, like water, or gas, like steam. When something is, if you're boiling water and you see that steam start to rise, or if you're in a hot shower and you see that steam, that's another form of matter. So there's three forms. Matter can be in a solid, a liquid, or a gas. Now the next part, so we just read that book that talks about matter. The directions say, after we've done that, you need to complete the I can describe objects page, which is the very next page. It is page 53 of your packet. It says I can describe objects. Number 1, find 5 different objects from around your house. So pick 5 different things from around your house. It can be anything. You need to draw each object, so draw a picture of each thing, and label the materials and different properties of the object. So the example that is on that page, on page 53, is so I'm not a very good artist. It's a light, like a desk light, like the one in the background that I have. Oh my gosh, it's hard to see backwards. So, like right here, that light that I have up, it's your example. And it says you have to draw each object and label the materials and different properties of the object. So, the example says, here's the light bulb. They wrote glass bulb, smooth. So they wrote the material that it's made of and the properties of the object. So what is that part? It is a glass bulb. And what are its properties? It's smooth. Then metal neck. This is the metal part of the desk light. It can be called the neck because it's just long and leads to the light fixture. Metal neck. And what are its properties? It's rough. The base here is made of plastic. So what is it? It says label the materials. The materials are, it is the plastic base. And what is its property? It's smooth. So that's your example in your packet. You need to pick 5 different things from around your house, draw each one, and do like the example like we just did. You need to label the materials and different properties of the object. So you need to say what that part of the object is. This is the plastic base. Its property is that it is smooth. This is the metal neck of the light, and it is rough. You could say a different property too. If you're looking at something that's different colors, you could use that for its property. We said there's a lot of different things. Texture, size, color, like we just said. There's lots of different things that you could use as the property. So they use texture, which is how something feels. They said smooth and rough. You could use a different property for yours, but it has to be 5 things, draw a picture of each, and label the materials and the different property of the object. So I believe that is all for today. I know this video was a little bit longer than our other ones, but hadn't been on in a while and we're getting back in the groove. So, yep, that's all for today. So, we've got several different things to do today. As always, if you have any questions or need any help, feel free to email. Today's kind of a dreary day, but hopefully you can have some fun inside. Um, Maybe play a game, relax, spend some time with your family. Um, I miss you guys and I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for our video and our class Zoom. See you then.